That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
as per
Well,
usual, yeah, like most people.
yeah.
Bit alive.
Well, since we're here, we'll just get started early. Get started early, then we can end early. Um, don't have too many topics here today, but before we get before
No,
we
I
get
only got
started,
two topics, but that's okay.
okay. Before we get started, you'd like to introduce yourself?
Uh, yeah, this is Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor BS Busters, and glad to be on another cast. We'll not be having cast tomorrow because got some shit going on, but our normal scheduled programming will return next week. That's it.
Okay. Holiday seasons are starting to kick up, so I bet things are probably getting crazy, aren't they? Where you're
No,
at?
not really. It's just there's actually I'm going to an early Christmas party, and
Oh,
I know
okay.
I'm gonna be drinking,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to function, do a podcast slightly tipsy. That's unprofessional. So I decided not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Not gonna be a little fucked up on a podcast.
Yeah.
That's inappropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, any case, my name is Kanoshi Bonito. Welcome to another episode of Project Console. Uh, I'm going to the title of today's Project Console is Straw Hat Crew Unite. Um, so
We be pirates.
yep. Um, and getting right into it, Sony is taking your purchases away. The money that you spent on various games or various movies getting taken away. You guys still pumped about that all digital future? You guys ready for it? Even the very thing that you bought, you spent your hard earned cash on, could just be yanked from you without any
Yoinked
warning or yoink,
can be yoinked away from you.
yep, yoinked right straight
Okay,
out of your hands.
here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go with the counter argument to that. Well, it is true that Sony is doing this shit. They're like, oh, we lost the rights to it. You have the opposite end of that spectrum, which is Steam, right? Like, if you buy something on Steam, right, even if it's taken off of the digital marketplace, all right, it's like we're no longer selling this. If you bought it and it's still in your library, you can go and download it.
Yep. Yeah, Steam
You
did it.
still have access to it.
Yeah, Steam does it right. Steam gives
So
you on Steam they give you all sorts of ways to back up your stuff. Like,
yeah, and
you
plus
know,
there's some games where if they do a remaster, like you get the, like if they do a remaster where they just took the game and they just ported the assets over to a higher version of that engine, the remaster is free.
yeah, yeah,
So like everyone's like, I don't want to go all digital. It's like, look, listen. As someone who has a house and a metric fuck ton of comics, manga, um, anime, DVDs, VHSs. I have three of the Star Wars movies. I have all three of the original Star Wars movies in Laserdisc and in VHS.
yeah,
Like tons of movies, tons of books. There's too much shit. Like everyone's like, I love physical media. Physical media, you control everything. You're running out of space, and digital helps because it's
yeah,
you're functionally looking at something at its most core most components, and that makes it easier to deal with. Like
yeah.
I
I
don't know why
agree.
people want everyone to just be like, oh, well, you need to, because like, okay, I'm lucky. I live in a big ass house. Okay, what if you're poor?
Yeah,
What if you live in an apartment? What if you live with roommates and all you have is your raggedy little ass room with your bed and and you're like what are you supposed to do? Just like, oh yeah. Let me make my room into a death trap.
yeah. I do agree with you because like I have a bunch of physical media. I just digitize it and put the store the boxes and stuff somewhere else.
Yeah. I
Because I
mean,
don't, you know, it's not taking up a bunch of space, and I just use the stuff as backups in case I end up losing it.
yeah. Or you wanna show it out, like you have like you get your own place, you wanna have a watching party. You're like, oh yeah, this is the original, so you watch this shit right here. But I mean, if you're just for personal viewing, why drag all that shit out just to hook something up again? Like
Yeah.
we used to have a friend of the channel who she was constantly like physical media only, physical media only. It's like, look, even for people who have the space are running out of space.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to having digital media. I'm not entirely against the digital future. Against. I'm just worried about how they're gonna handle it. Like
Yeah,
that's my problem.
exactly. It comes down to how it's how they're dealing with it. Now you're dealing with Sony, so Sony is inherently a fucked up, convoluted company.
Yeah.
And how they let's just look, no beating around the bush here. No, I'm not going to say that in a nuanced and well and reserved way. Uh, Sony is a fucked up and convoluted company, and instead of them going out of their way to make digital, because here's the thing, like the reason digital has become such a huge thing is because it's easy and convenient.
Yeah.
Why would you make something that should be easy and convenient less easy and less convenient?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's why people like the idea of a digital future, because it is super easy and it's super convenient. Uh, you don't have to, again, like you were saying, you don't have to worry about having a bunch of clutter. Uh, but but when you do this sort of thing, you just rip purchases out of people's hands like this. It's just kind of like, well, they want to get mad at people being pirates, but it's like, well, I don't have any other way of accessing it.
Exactly,
There's this,
exactly. But I mean, this isn't just a Sony problem. This is a Nintendo problem
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Nintendo has been bad ever since the Switch came out. They've been bad about like not giving people access to the older shit,
yeah.
so that they can
Here,
resell it to you at a higher price.
like here's a prime example of something else that's actually pretty difficult to access unless you have a VPN, or unless you're willing to go on those gray market streaming sites. Um, there's a animated series called Pantheon, which isn't located, which you can't watch in this country. Um, it was pulled from the streaming site. AMC had a I think it's AMC had was streaming it. You can only watch it through other countries with a VPN, or through the these gray market streaming sites, or pirate it. So
Yeah, but I don't consider VPN pirating.
yeah,
Like VPN is basically the equivalent of saying, "Hey, I wanna read this book." All right, let's say there's a book series you're into, but it hasn't been localized in American English, but you can get an English language version of it in another country. So you order it from that country. That's not piracy. It's not available to you in your market. Or
yeah,
if there's a food that you like that's not available, like a brand of, like, let's say you prefer European style chocolate versus what we have in America, and they don't sell it here. So you're like, well, shit, I got to get where they sell it. Like, I mean, that's not really a piracy thing. But you're right. There are certain IPs that, like, you can't get it here in America. They won't
yeah,
give it to you. They like, how am I like? I want to give you my money, but you won't even put the shit for sale.
yeah,
Why?
yeah. And just a side note, whenever you get a chance, check out Pantheon. It's a really good
Oh, is
show that
that the one
nobody saw.
that's like a take on Greek mythology?
No, I mean, it uses it as more of a metaphor. It's about a technology called UI, uploaded intelligence, and all the problems and all the existential ideas when pertaining to existence. Like the story follows a girl whose who dad has died from cancer, and his consciousness is uploaded to to a computer, and the
Yeah, this
pantheon.
already sounds bad. It already sounds like a series of bad ideas.
Yeah,
It's like,
so
oh, this ain't gonna turn out well for nobody.
yeah, and you also have different countries that use uh, this technology for war games and stuff like that. It tackles a lot of interesting ideas. Highly recommend it. But anyway, back to Sony. um, yeah, they uh, I think honestly, if you're going to have a digital service, I think Steam is probably the service to model your digital service after.
Now, wait a second. Have you forgotten the other great digital service that is absolutely like just killing it in the market? Epic. Sorry, I was trying to. I tried to hold it, but I couldn't. I'm sorry, I couldn't. The only one is Steam, really.
Yeah.
Maybe a few smaller indie gaming services like indie games, shit like that. Um,
GOG, they're good for
yeah, GOG's pretty good
distribution.
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
GOG's pretty good too. That's about it. Like
yeah,
it, Steam and GOG, because Epic is a fucking joke. I think we can all agree on that, right? Like, no
yeah.
one's
I
gonna
have to say
defend
so.
Epic.
Yeah,
No one's gonna be like, but Epic. No one's gonna fall into the Tim Sweeney paradox of, but Epic, but Steam is taking 30% of your money. It's like, yeah, but they created the platform, bitch. Like, if you owned it, if you opened up a business and someone said, hey, I want to sell my product in your business, don't they owe you a cut?
yeah.
I mean, that, like, only someone who is completely brain damaged or easily what's the word I'm looking for, easily influenced by propaganda
Yeah.
would think that Tim Sweeney's arguments against um, against Steam were valid, because they were not. They were some total and complete bullshit, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you own the apparatus and you're, you're allowing people to sell stuff through the apparatus, you definitely should be allowed to take a cut.
You
But
know, especially
mm,
something that they built, because you look at you look at Epic's library, and it's shit. Like, their
it's not even.
store is shit.
I mean, it's not even that. It took them forever to make a shopping cart. Like the most big, like obviously, I guess building an online storefront is difficult because it's like everybody else is not particularly great. Like you have Origin, which is a mess. They end up
Well,
they end up
Origin is
coming
a
back.
mess and a joke.
Yeah, I mean, they ended up coming back. They ended up coming back to Steam. Like they
Yeah,
ended up putting the games back on Steam, and actually everywhere else. So it's just kind of like,
I mean, the only reason Rockstar and 2K have their own launcher is because they have games that people put a lot of fucking money into keeping alive. I mean, putting doing microtransactions in, which is fucking GTA and NBA 2K, like all that type of shit. But by and large, the other shit is all like, it's all low stakes shit.
yeah,
It's all like, Uplay. Does anyone give a shit about Uplay for real? Like, let us know. Is anyone like, oh yeah, Uplay? That's the place to be. I'm being facetious, by the way. Don't don't
Yeah,
don't do
it's
that,
like,
please. Do
y-
that.
yeah, Uplay is another, like, why am I, DRM on top of DRM?
Yeah, I mean, and
Just,
to be fair, look, Steam is also DRM,
yeah. Well, everybody just wanted all the money. That's the thing. It's like they
and they
want,
didn't want to put the effort in
yeah, they
for the
didn't want
money.
to put the, yeah, exactly.
Because remember, when Steam first came out, it was shit.
Yeah,
Like people forget that. They're like, oh yeah, Steam. When Steam first came out, people were mad. They're like, I just want to play Team Fortress. I just want to play Counter Strike.
yeah,
It took years, but the problem, the issue with Uplay and what the other ones is that Steam stumbled and fell, so that like all you have to do is just do what Steam did, because Steam already took those risks. They showed what worked, what didn't work. So when you see a new thing come out and it's like, well, what the fuck were you doing? Because like Steam already, it's like if you were in line and you were walking someplace and you saw the person in front of you fall down a flight of steps because like it was too dark, you'd be like, oh wait, there's some steps there, I need to watch my step. But everyone else keeps on falling down. It's like, but didn't you see them other people fall down? I mean, it's pay attention, bro.
and then there's and then you know, well, everybody's gonna want to do their own thing. They don't want to feel like they're just simply copying, or obviously, they don't want to feel like they're capitulating to a particular company, because this is just how a lot of these corporations are.
I mean, I understand that, but I also realize that at a certain point, you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like how Nintendo was always like, oh yeah, we'll create our own. Like they stopped making good D pads,
yeah,
and it's like, bro, just make a good fucking D pad.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like, well, it has to be different. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Just make a good fucking D pad, bro.
Well, in other news, there was a trailer that came out yesterday that was supposed to come out today, but then it got leaked, and Rockstar was like, you know what, forget it, we'll
Fuck it.
just release it. Yeah,
Yeah, they were like,
it's
yeah, fuck it.
honestly, they should have just released it the day they announced it. It's like, here's GTA 6, guys. Here it is.
What you
It's
been
like,
waiting on?
yeah, it's
What
like,
you wanted?
yeah,
You
it's
happy
like,
now, bitches? You happy? You happy? God
why would
damn
you
it.
just why would you just cock tease people? It's like, oh, we announced this trailer. We're gonna show it in a couple days. It's like, come on, the jig is up. It's over. Um, GTA 6 is announced. Looks really good. Um, but
That's about it. It looks good. That's all I'm gonna
yeah,
say about it. It
yeah,
looks good. Um,
yeah. But did everybody forget? Yes, this is what happens. Companies make a few boo boos, and then they release a slick, nice looking trailer for a big game, and then we all just forget. Well, we all just well,
let it
everything that
slide.
happened before never happened. There's
Yeah,
nothing to
let that
worry
shit.
about. There's we have nothing to worry about, guys. It's like,
Let that
y-
shit slide. Let it
yeah, like
slide that they fought the modders and were like suing people. So, oh, you can't you can't mod our game. It's like, fuck your game. Your game is better because of mods,
yeah,
not because of something you guys did to make it better.
yeah. The modders did a better job at updating the graphics to your older games than what you put out. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Not to mention the GTA 5 economy. Uh,
is fundamentally broken.
you think shark cards are bad now? Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Get ready
Yeah,
for 6.
yeah, yeah. It's oh boy. You think that shit's bad right now? Ooh, Jesus. Just you wait until the next one, because they tried to do the same thing with Red Dead, but Red Dead is fundamentally not able to do the same shit that you can do with a GTA game. It's just you can't. It doesn't work. But yeah, man. And you say that, and people get mad. Oh, don't say that.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Don't say that. I like GTA. GTA's my friend. GTA married me.
Yeah, I saw videos a couple months ago about the shark cards, and how they're handled. It's pretty terrible.
Oh
It's
yeah.
pretty terrible. And
Well, because the in-game economy is fundamentally skewed so that you would have to, like, if you have a real job where you work, between 20 and 30 hours a week, you will not have time to make a video game.
yeah,
You're just not going to be able to do it.
yeah,
And you mention that to people, and they're like, "Well, I shark cards." I'm like, but it's the in-game economy. Like, you have to spend real money just to keep up.
it's pretty crazy. And it's just gonna get worse because it's just like I was kind of you hope that Rockstar would learn from all the fallen games as a service, live service games that have completely collapsed. But this is GTA. This is GTA.
Exactly.
This is their evergreen title. They're
Yeah.
not. They're yeah.
That people will buy no matter what.
It's just gonna get worse because I know a lot of people at work. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna hop on GTA Online after work. It's like, okay. Yeah, it's just gonna get worse. So everybody's like, oh man, look at the city, look at how big it is and populated it is. So great. It's like, okay, you really think there's gonna be a halfway decent story mode? Because they're gonna put a lot of energy into that. Into the online service.
Yep.
It's
gonna be. Everything's gonna be built online. And the reason they're not releasing it on PC because PC gamers can cheat and not have to deal with the online aspect. So if they don't want to, they can add mods to make it better. And they're going to try when and if this game comes out on PC, they're going to do everything they can to break it so that everything is reliant on their shitty ass Rockstar launcher and all that shit. That's what it's going to be about. And anyone who tells you any differently, oh no, it's not going to be like that. Rockstar proved me wrong.
I think it might get the Red Dead. I think it might get the Red Dead treatment. I don't think that game's ever coming to PC. The amount of fighting they had to do with people with the GTA 5 on PC, trying to block people from using mods. I don't think they want.
Yeah, on the online, which makes sense. I understand. Yeah. You don't want people to break the game to mod online, but on console, it's like on PC is designed, especially in single player. They were like going after people who were playing the game in fucking single player.
Yeah, they want to squeeze as much money out of console players as they can. They want. Oh, they want to wreck their wallet. They want to wreck their wallet. Oh man, it's I don't know, man. I mean, I get people like, yay, GTA. I mean, you still got another. It's like you still got another year. And get ready for more leaks because people just aren't gonna be able to handle themselves. So that's gonna be fun. We're probably gonna see more leaks next year because people have little to no patience. So, although I get it, they've been milking GTA 5 for 10 years, and we got what? We got 3 GTAs on the PS2, right? GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. So
That's true.
I get the impatience.
We did get 3 GTAs.
And this game was like what? Apparently gonna cost like $2 billion.
I wouldn't be surprised if it costs more than that.
Yeah.
Because it's Rockstar, and Rockstar. Thing about Rockstar is thing about Rockstar is that they are very much what's the word I'm looking for? GTA is their baby.
Yeah.
And I'll give Rockstar this much credit. Aside from when they took their old games and fucked up that by giving it to Grove Street Games, Rockstar is very much like, this is our baby, don't fuck it up. This is our cash cow, don't fuck it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what I know. I'm just some guy. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I on one hand, it's like there's a lot of things to worry about, but on the other hand, it's like, are they gonna cut the head off the golden goose? Of their golden
No.
goose? No.
Now here's what I project. Okay, here's what I think's gonna happen. Okay, I think they're gonna come out with GTA 6 on consoles. They're gonna release, all that shit. Then they're gonna do what they did with GTA 5. It's eventually gonna come out on PC. They're gonna charge full price for it because they can, and people are gonna buy it. I know I'm probably gonna buy it too. All right. And it's going to, I'm probably going to play it with lots of mods because why the fuck would you play an online PC game without mods? That's just kind of stupid. But
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So.
but whatever, man. Whatever,
Yeah.
man. It's going to be a nightmare. That's all I'm going to
Yeah.
say. It's going to be a damn nightmare. It's going to be bad for everybody, and we're going to deal with it because that's what we do. We just deal with things. We don't actually deal with the underlying issue. We just kind of sort of.
Yeah. Exactly. So next week there's a much smaller event because GTA 6 getting announced was the main event this month pertaining to gaming. Because like um,
What's the other event?
GTA 6 I'm sure that announcement is going to get like 3 to 4 times more views than the Game Awards next week.
Of course, because GTA is big, whereas the Game Awards is just Jeff Keighley just selling ever increasing smaller parts of his soul to anybody.
Yeah.
Because Jeff Keighley sold so much of his soul already, it's got to be smaller bits because he's got to divide it up.
Yeah, man. The Game Awards is his Horcrux. Anyway, the 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 Game Awards, we don't care about them, and neither should you. This is obviously why. We've mentioned this before. No standards. Like obviously, we've like for example, there are things in the RPG category that probably shouldn't be there. They're barely RPGs. What constitutes as an RPG in the mainstream is just kind of
Ridiculous.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. It's like, oh, this is an RPG. But it isn't, though. Look, I've been playing RPGs my entire life, okay? I know RPGs, all right? I know RPGs so well, it's not even funny, all right? And one of the things that I know about an RPG is that RPGs have all types of shit that lets you know it's an RPG, right?
Yeah.
All types of little things that happen that let you know, oh yeah, this is an RPG. And I'm not getting that here. And if you mention that, people get mad. They're like, oh no, 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 no. I know what a fucking RPG is. I've been playing RPGs my entire life, god damn it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, you know, you have a, it's because you have a skill tree and you can, you know, upgrade your weapons doesn't necessarily make it an RPG. It's an element of an RPG, but it's not necessarily an RPG. Obviously, what constitutes an RPG is, you know, obviously choices, being able to have a party, being able to switch roles of that particular party. You're more of an RPG guy than I am. What other elements would you put in there?
Uh, I mean, typically speaking, at its core, to me, an RPG is where your choices, basically, you have a party and your choices actually influence what happens in the game. To me, that is what makes an RPG. If those aspects aren't in a game, I don't consider it to be an RPG. Some people are going
Yeah,
to get mad when they hear that. And they'll be like, no, don't say that. To me, that is not an RPG. If I'm playing a game and you're calling it an RPG and the choices I make are not influencing what's happening with that game, then I don't consider it to be an RPG.
yeah,
Some people are going to get mad when they hear that. They're going to be like, don't say that. That ain't right. But I don't consider it to be an RPG, okay? There has to be levels. Your choices have to influence. You have to have control over those characters' growth. Um, it's the reason why I don't consider Pokemon to be an RPG, because Pokemon doesn't have any RPG-like aspects to it. All right? Some people gonna get mad at that, like, but I like Pokemon. I'm sure you do, but it's not an RPG. Hashtag deal with it. I'm like Adam Orth. Hashtag deal with it, bitches. Yes, Pokemon is not an RPG. All right. I know. I know. It's not. It's you don't want to deal with the fact that Pokemon is not an RPG. It is not an RPG. Okay. I know you're not gonna like it. You guys are gonna get angry about it. Pokemon ain't an RPG.
right.
Um. I like. I know. Like, but I like Pokemon. It's one of my favorite games. Cool. Non RPG. Want to know why? Because characters, you have no control over what your characters do. Like everything is based upon a series of events. Okay, you have no control over those characters, and you know that makes it not an RPG. I'm sorry. Just deal with it. Hashtag deal with it.
And then there's all the commercialization. You know, so many. I know you gotta sell ad space for time or whatever to pay for the show, but you know, there's some awards that just get swept under the swept under the rug. It's just kind of like, why have all these different awards? Why just you know stick to a handful of awards throughout the show? It's so weird.
Commercial.
Yeah, it's kind of just off-putting how they just like there's certain awards that they just rush through. It's like, oh, they're gonna give this award to this, and then this award goes to this, and this. It's like, you know, it's just like just have like a list of like 5, 10 awards throughout the show or something, so everybody can whoever gets an award gets a spotlight. At least it's just well that
Yeah,
whole
but
process is bizarre.
yeah, but here's the thing, man. That makes sense. Why are you trying to make things make sense? I've told you this before. It's not supposed to make sense. All right? It's supposed to be ridiculous. All right? That's what we do here. Everything is ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Ridiculous. If it's ridiculous and stupid, it's in the Game Awards.
Yeah, it's happening. It's gonna be there. Um, well, the Game of the Year award is just
Stupid.
yeah. I think it's gonna go to Alan Wake just because it's just it's like somebody said it earlier. I was listening to something. It's like it, it it checks all the boxes that a lot of these media outlets, the kind of games that they're into. So I bet you know the council of officials at the Game Awards will probably give it to Alan Wake, and then you know the people who vote will probably give it to more than likely Baldur's Gate. So this be another example of how out of touch a lot of these outlets are with the general people. But whatever, it's it's like I said, and people get super emotional about this. You'll have people fight pertaining to this show. And it's just kind of like this has been going on for practically 10 years, I believe, and it's like why do you guys still take it seriously?
But the Game Awards have only been going on for, I want to say, 5 or 6 years. But you're right. The mentality of people giving, because people want validation for their hobby.
Yeah, when I was
You know,
15, 16 years old, I kind of used to. I was kind of like that, but at some point you're just kind of like whatever. I just do what I want to do. I play what I want to play. Do what I'm gonna do. I don't care.
yeah. And sadly, we live in a world where people want validation for their hobbies. Like
Yeah,
people want to be validated. Whatever your hobby is, people want a validation for it. Not realizing that it's your hobby, and as long as it makes you happy, that's all that matters.
yeah, yeah,
Who gives a shit how other people feel about your hobby?
yeah.
But like I said, people want acceptance. They want to feel how they want to feel. They don't care if that is not necessarily a valid feeling because to them it's valid. That's all that matters. How they feel about it.
Yeah.
Now, personally, like I said, I don't really give a shit, but we aren't talking about ourselves. We're talking about other people, and unfortunately that's the world we live in. Okay, people want validation for whatever it is that they like or deal with.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. People want validation for whatever. You know, if people are into manga, they want validation for being into manga. If people are into uh, beat 'em ups, they want valid. People want validation. Human beings want validation. I mean, that's a human thing. You want validation for what you do. If you're at a
Yeah.
job, you want to you want validation for your job. You want validation, not realizing that if the only reason you do anything is for validation and you're hoping that someone else will give you validation for what you do, you're never going to get it.
Well, validation at your
Okay?
job makes sense because you could potentially get paid more, or you could get
Yeah,
more
but
bonuses. But
yeah,
validation
but
for the games that you like.
no, but here's the thing. Even at your job, generally speaking, if you really pay attention to who moves ahead in most jobs, it's not the people who get validation a lot of times are just really good at networking. They aren't actually doing a better job. Okay?
That is true.
Okay, so it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I do a good. You want to know what the real award is for most places where you do a really good job? More shit for you to do. All
Yeah,
right,
that is
they are
true.
not going to give you a better job. They're not going to promote you because you're too good at what you do.
Yeah, that's true. See,
Okay.
the thing is, right? So when you first start a job, because some jobs, if you do a certain amount of work, you'll get like a nice bonus. Like they have like a reward system, like a bonus. What you do is you do the bare minimum for like 3 to 6 months, and then you start working. Then you start working hard the 6 months, so they could be like, oh man, he's improved, and you get your bonus. then you slack off again.
The hell with that, man.
No.
My rule of thumb is to stay at a place just long enough to move the fuck on and go make more money someplace else. Because if you're not getting, if you don't feel like you're getting upward mobility, you're not getting promoted, you're not making more money as time goes by, what's the fucking use?
Yeah.
Like, why should I bust my ass when I'm not getting any sort of anything out of it?
Yeah.
Because look, everyone's like, well, you know, I work here because my friends are here. Look, I'd get more friends, but in order for me to have a livelihood and survive, I need to make money. Okay?
Exactly. Yep.
I got shit to pay for. Okay, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And even if I don't have shit to pay for, I just want to make enough money so that I can do the shit I got to do. You know, fuck off.
Yeah. You know, either pay for your hobbies or stack away money in case you get a really, really bad rainy day, because you never know when those happen.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of that. Anything else?
The Game Award.
Oh yeah, the Game Awards. Yeah, no one gives a shit about the Game Awards.
Yeah,
no one should give a shit about the Game Awards, and the reason why is because, you know, the Game Awards are bullshit.
Yeah.
We all know the Game Awards are bullshit. The Game Awards are total and complete bullshit. And if anyone tells you they aren't, they're lying to you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right? It's like, oh no, the Game Awards are great. No, they aren't. Game Awards are bullshit. Been bullshit for years now. Okay? The only good thing about the Game Awards is that Jeff Keighley got the Dorito Pope got Don Matrick excommunicated from his job. That's the only good thing about the Game Awards on national TV. It's like, oh, so let me get this straight. You're telling people that if they don't want to be always online, just to stick with their Xbox 360, that's what you're saying? No, what I'm saying is, it's like, no, he got your ass there, Don.
It was too late.
It was too late. Yeah, man. It's too late. It's like that song by the Cornelius Brothers and Baby Sister Rose. It's too late to turn back now. It's too late to turn back now.
Yep.
You done fucked up, man.
Man, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's like, oh, so no, what I'm saying is, it's like, it's too late, Don. You're fucked, Don. There's nothing you can do, Don. You're fucked. It's over, Don.
Just grab your golden parachute and head on out. But in any case, free topic. Anything you like to bring up?
Oh yeah, two things. First of all, Godzilla Minus One. Saw it last week. It was fucking amazing. It's getting rave reviews. I think it's the highest rated Godzilla film of all time. It's at its 97% on Metacritic, with the original Godzilla being like 96, 95. And I think after that is Shin Godzilla with a 93. And it's making really good money. That movie was made on a budget of $15 million.
Wow.
And it looks amazing. Like, really good. So that just proves one really big thing. You don't have to spend a lot of money to make a good movie.
Nope. No.
You know, all it takes is vision, and you can make something good. So I look at Hollywood with these movies that come out that are just fundamentally just trash, and I'm like, well, what's your excuse? It's like, why can't you make good shit?
Yeah, exactly.
What's holding you back from making some good shit? That being said, it was a really good film. Astonishingly good. Like it's like, oh, this should be terrible. No, it's legit, really good. Um, that's it. Got nothing else. Yes.
Was this made in
About that,
It's a Japanese movie?
it is Japanese.
Okay.
Toho fucked up, and they basically partnered with one of those limited special run things to make the movie. But I'm like, why would you do that? Because this is a really good fucking film. Like, why would you? Like, why? Because I mean, it's making a lot of money. It's getting it might even get nominated for something. Like, it's really good, and they're like, oh yeah, well, whatever.
Really weird. They're yeah. Sometimes they're just really weird about how they release films.
I guess so, man. I was just
Yeah.
like, whatever. I'm just saying, I saw it and I was like, wow, this is a really amazing movie. And they literally just went out of their way to make it like to do a limited release. I'm like, but this is so good. Why would you do a limited release for this?
Yeah. Usually Japan isn't typically the greatest at CGI, but yeah, I just took a quick
I
look
mean,
at the
look,
trailer. It looks pretty good.
the CGI isn't like let me put it this way. The CGI isn't on the level of like Marvel at the height of their special SFX or CGI. But like Godzilla moves unnaturally and like it looks unbelievable, but it's supposed to. It's a giant fire breathing atomic dragon. You know, it's,
Yeah.
it's supposed to look like your brain's like, yeah, this is supposed to look ridiculous
Yeah.
and absurd to an extent because it's a giant fire breathing dragon monster.
Yeah. Yeah. Watching a video yesterday on the animation studio that did like Jujutsu Kaisen, just big anime. Um, Mappa and
One Punch
uh,
Man.
yeah, I think they might have done that too. They did Attack on Titan, some of the Attack on Titan. I think I think they did the last couple seasons of Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, apparently people have been complaining about the quality of their animation for certain animes. Um, and, the discussion is about, a lot of these, sometimes a lot of these projects come out rushed, and usually the animators get blamed. They get blamed for, like, oh, they're putting out a shitty product. And I feel like when it comes to animators and when it comes to developers, I think people's ire should be more towards the publishers, more
Well,
towards
on management.
on management
Yeah.
than the actual animators. Because, like, if you know anything about animating in Japan, it's pretty
Rough.
terrible. It's
Yeah.
pretty rough.
I mean, they need our union.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a billion-dollar industry, and the animators are getting paid wage like almost. I mean, I'm not going to say slave wages, but well under what they should actually be getting paid for how skilled these people are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because look at season 1 of One Punch Man. That shit looks amazing.
Oh yeah, it's really good. And it's sad because like anime's never been more popular,
Yep.
and all they're getting is crumbs.
Yep.
Um,
And worked to the bone.
yeah, and another animation studio you're probably familiar with is Studio Ghibli, and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, apparently Miyazaki's a nightmare to work with. I saw
I
a bit.
mean, let's keep it 100%. Is anyone surprised that Miyazaki is a nightmare to work with?
I'm not. I'm not terribly surprised, but I saw a video, documentary on the creation of Princess Mononoke, and one of the lead key animators died after the project because they
Really?
because he
He
because he
worked to
worked
death?
himself. Yeah, he literally worked himself to death. Some of these people had to be hospitalized because the amount of hours and they put in. Like you get you get these animators that are sleep deprived and are literally working themselves to death to get these ridiculous deadlines.
Hey man, look. It's art. You gotta bleed for your art, man. That's how you know it's art. You gotta bleed. You gotta suffer for the
Yeah,
art. Okay, okay. In all seriousness, I'm not surprised because Hayao Miyazaki came out of the same school. Like he was one of the people who came out of the school at the same. Like he worked with and worked under Tezuka Takashi, who's considered the father of modern anime.
yeah,
And the reason Tezuka Takashi revolutionized it was because before he took over, he basically turned animation into an assembly line, anime into an assembly line.
yeah,
Okay, where these people were working dog wages
yeah,
to do these cells, right? In an assembly line format. Like he basically was the Hanna Barbera of Japan. Okay,
yeah,
a lot of, which is why you see a lot of Tezuka Takashi animation from back in that time. Like you would see the same body types, kind of like how Disney would, where you'd have the same body types for background characters and certain characters because they just reuse those cells over and over and over again
yeah,
to animate certain things, and that's what they did. You know, it's sad, but that's the world we live in, unfortunately.
yeah.
Um,
I always found that
am I
funny.
cool with that? No, I'm not cool with it, but.
I always found it funny, even as a kid, where it's like you're watching the Flintstones or something, and you just see the same two houses as they're as they're driving. It's like, God dang, it's like he didn't want to spend the extra money to make a couple more houses. just had to repeat the same. I mean, I get it, but whatever. Um, but yeah, that's my free topic. You got anything else?
Um, I mean, I got nothing except, you know, uh, I got nothing except, uh, I got nothing except, basically, it just the big thing that works with all this is just anime is has never been bigger, and these people are not being paid for their services, which is
Yeah,
sad.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
They're not being paid for their services, which bothers me. It bothers me that they're not being paid for their services. Um, and that's not cool. You know, it's not cool that people aren't being paid for their services. It's not cool that people aren't being paid for what they for what they you know, for what their for their hard work.
Yeah, yeah. But in any case, want to give your sign off and call it a night.
Yeah. This is Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor of BS Busters, and I will not I will not be here next week, but you know, um, I'll be with you in spirit. Enjoy your holidays. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. All that jazz.
And this is Kanoshi Bombnita here with another Project Console. Glad to have my guest on, Mr. Red Fox, and have a good week, have a good weekend, and have a good life. And we'll see you next week.